Hey guys, how's it going? So right now I'm going to go over a quick example, real life example of how to comp properties and kind of walk you guys through it. This is a deal that we just got under contract, and this is how I analyzed the deal and found out what we could offer. So let me share my screen with you. I'm going to go through the whole process and step by step, right? So let's go to the first step. Find out what the ARV of the property is by using data you have available to you. So right now I do not have MLS access to the property here in Alabama that we're working on. And by the way, we got this from Google Paid Ads, pay-per-click campaign. So I only have PropStream and Zillow available, okay? So let's go to PropStream. This is PropStream. It's just titled something different, but it's all the same. So here's the house. So I take a quick look at what is Zillow. So Zillow is not always accurate, so I don't take that as like the gospel. So it says it's worth $291,400,000, right? So I go over here, and I want to see what is selling around that home. So this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,924 square feet. It was built in, year built is important, 2011, 3.2. So let's see what's selling around here, okay? So I usually want to know, I don't want to cross any major roads. I want to know what's selling in the area. Now, there's nothing selling around here for sale right now. So I'm going to look. So this is 100K. This is probably a lot. That's a lot for 175. So 385. So this is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath for 385. So we can go over here to bed. So ours is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Let's see what's for sale in this area. It's a 3.2. Use exact data. Let's see. So this is a 3.3. 2,537 square feet for 410, 275, 3.2. That's a good comp. It's past across the highway, but at least it's 3.2, about the same square footage for 275. Okay, let's look at it. When was it built? It was built in 2017. So this is a newer build, and it looks clean. I wouldn't say it's flipped because it's a new build, right? But nice kitchen, nice stuff. Okay, nice backyard. So 275. So that's a good comp. Let's see how long it's been on the MLS for. Now let's see. So Zestimate says it's worth 302. So now we're seeing Zestimates are probably a little high in this area. It's been on the market for 1 day, so it's very possible this thing could move quick. So 389. 260. So this is a 3.3. Now it's really important when you're looking at comps to understand that different neighborhoods could get different, more money. This one seems decent. It looks like it. They remodeled some bathrooms. So it's at 259 and it got a price cut. It's a little bigger. It does seem a little, like an older build. So this one has been on the market and it's built. Let's see, when was it built? Might have already passed it. Let's see. Year built, construction, kitchen. Year built, they don't have the data, but this is definitely an older model than a 2010, which ours is. But it's going for about 260. So I don't know if, the area where I have the deal it could be like a nicer area. So I'm going to keep looking for comps. Mine says 291, this is 300, and this one's going for 275. But I'm kind of gathering just so far that it's going to be anywhere between the 250 to 300 range if ARV. So let's see what's sold. So what we can do here is see what's sold in the last, depending how many days we want. So let's do the last 90 days. Let's see what's sold. So our home is over here. So this is 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2,159 square feet. This sold for 260. And let's see when this sold. This sold last year. Okay. So 260, that's a good comp. 200, 226, 267. So let me figure out exactly where mine is again. I like to check. Yeah, this is the way I know that recenters it. Okay, so mine is right there. So 267, 200, 240. So 200, that's not a good comp for me, but this is also, you know, smaller. So 200, 240. Okay, so this is I'm getting some wide ranges, you know, 226, 200. This is a good comp for us. Let's find out why this was at 200, even if it's smaller square footage. Okay, so this is why, because it was sold 2 years ago, in 2019. So it's saying it's worth about 273. I'm seeing from what I'm looking at that maybe the Zestmans are high in this area and they're probably worth like $20,000 less, according from the Zestimate. So mine says it's worth 290. Maybe it's worth about 270 ARV. But that's not the only thing I want to do. I want to log in to PropStream and check it out. So let's take this address and do the same thing in PropStream. And then at the end of this, we'll have a good idea of what the ARV is. And remember, guys, we're still on step 1. We're trying to determine the value of the property. Okay, so next thing, we've looked at Zillow. Let's look at, let's see, we didn't take it. Let's look at PropStream. PropStream says it's worth 250. That's probably accurate. 250. Let's run some comps. So what houses have sold like hers in the area recently? So all you do is you go to PropStream, type in the address, and go to comparables, and you can change it to public record, MLS data, just whatever returns the most data. So I go to public record. Okay, then I look at the map because it's really important. Location is important. So we want to know what's the closest one to it. So this is good. So there's this one is really close to it. So one sold just a couple months ago for 250. Okay, and then you can actually look at the picture on here and see the condition. It looks like it hasn't been updated since it was built, but it looks nice. Nothing crazy. So 250. There seems to be another one right here, down 2 and a 4. So 2 sold for 240. And this seems to be the exact match of the property. 3, 2. It's a little bit more bigger square footage. Maybe that Zillow had the wrong square footage. Let's see. No pictures, huh? Okay. Let's look at this one. 225. This is a 4. Let's look at 4. 215. Looks clean. Looks, you know, not updated, but clean. So it sold for 215 a year ago. Let's look at 3. 3 sold for 225. 4, 2.5. Let's see what ours is again. Ours is 2.5. I think ours is a 3. 1924 square feet. So for 225. Okay, so my seller, actually, I've talked to the seller, and she said this is the exact layout of the property that she has. So this one sold for $225 in 2020, so almost actually a year ago. Yeah, coming up on a year ago for $225, and that's in clean condition. So the seller actually sent me some pictures of the property, and the home is in good condition. It's not too bad. It probably needs just clean, maybe some carpet and paint, nothing too big, not a giant rehab. So if this sold for $225 a year ago, and it's saying Zillow's saying it's worth $293 now, I'd say it's probably worth about $250 now. That's right where, and by the way, estimated value in prop stream is not always correct either, but it looks like from what we're seeing, 250 is 250, maybe 260, 270, like in that range is where it could be worse. So next step, figure out the, find out the repair estimate through pictures, going to the house, or asking the seller. So I asked the seller, and she told me it needs carpet, paint, nothing too crazy. So after I find out what the repair, I think the repair estimate on a home like this is probably like $15,000. I think that's probably what it's worth. Now, next step is plug in the info to the deal analyzer. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to use this. So let's say the ARV is 250. Let's just be conservative and say it's worth 250. I have to get it under 250 for it to be a deal. Let's just say 190. That's originally what she wanted. It was 190 for the property. So you take what you put the price that you get the house for here, and 250 is what the resale value is. So this, you need to fill out this information here, and the information here, and the rest you don't touch. So right here, hard money, because most flippers use hard money instead of cash. You have to they take that into account on when they make their offers. So should we. 12% is usually the interest on a hard money loan with 2 points up front. Down payment 15%. The whole time on a property like this would probably be 4 months. You buy it, you'd put carpet, paint, you'd relist it. Worst case scenario is 4 months, and then they relist it. A flipper will relist it with an agent for 3%, listing agent, and then 3% for the buyer's agent. And you can also use this tool. Sometimes I like to do exact bid, but you can also put the square footage of the home in there. And let me look at what the square footage is again. 1924. So you go here to 1924. And then you can do if you think it's a basic, medium, everything. So if I went here to basic, it says that the rehab would cost $34,000. Now, these numbers are a little high in my opinion, but it just keeps you safe, so you can get a big spread and be sure of a deal. I really think to do a basic rehab on this house is probably going to cost $15,000. So I think this is a little generous. So I'm going to go to other. So $15,000. So if I get this house from her for $190, and I can flip it for $250. If I were buying it, I would make $18,000, $18,690 after all my commissions and fees. Now, most flippers want to make between 15 to 20 to 30, depending on the price point of the home. I would say someone that's going to flip a house at this price point with the risk of taking on the hard money and all that, they would be okay with making around $15,000. So that means if I need to get it under 190 to make anything, to give it to someone so they can make 18. So I actually negotiated with the seller, and I got her to accept $183,500. So that's a 25K spread if I was gonna flip it, but I'm gonna actually found a buyer that was willing to buy it at $205. So this formula isn't always perfect, but at least it gets you a good idea of where you need to be. So I actually found someone for $205. So he must think the home is worth maybe $270. So he's going to make his spread, and I have it at 183. So I'm going to make my spread of about 20K, or a little bit more than that. So it's not a perfect science, but I like to, crunch the numbers a couple ways to say, okay, worst case scenario, it's worth this. If I sold it to someone, a flipper for that much, he'd make probably $2,000 bucks, but maybe the carpet and paint, you only have to carpet, downstairs and paint a couple spots. Maybe it's actually 5,000. So there you go. There he makes his spread. And you know, at 205 he makes money if he sells it for 250. So let's look at it one more time. Let's say the rehab cost is actually 10 grand, because it, you know, carpet paint doesn't need that much. I sell it to someone for 205 and it's worth 250. They make 22,000. And let's say they know something I don't and it's worth 270. They made a lot of money. They made a good amount. So I really believe this property, after looking at it, 250 is the low end of what it's worth. I think, you know, if you did a good job, you could probably sell it for 260, 270. So it's very possible. And someone can sell, you know, flip it and make 41,000. I got it at 183. So if I was to flip it again, I could potentially make $64,000 in 4 months. So this calculator is really important to fill out the ARV, you know, what you got it for, and you have to include the price that you're gonna, you know, the wholesale fee, so you know what they're gonna make. Because, you know, if let's say the property was worth 250 and the house, and I got it for 183.5, and the house actually needed a freaking giant. It needed everything. It was down to the studs. It was trashed. It's everything. Let's see. So this should actually. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I accidentally messed up. I wasn't supposed to fill in this right here. So let's do it again. So 250. Let's say the house is worth 250. I got it for 183.5. And the house needed everything. So if the house needed everything, this guy would lose. I would lose money. I wouldn't be able to wholesale this. So that's why it's important to know the condition of the home. I know from the pictures and talking to her that the house doesn't need that much work. So worst case scenario, it needs a basic rehab at 34. And, you know, let's say I gave it to someone for 190 and the value was actually worth 270. I could make, you know, a $7,000 wholesale fee, or, you know, for selling to someone for 190, and they would still make their 15K after putting in $34,000 of work. Now it doesn't need that much, but again, I'm just playing with the numbers. So that's how you do it, guys. You mess with the numbers here, you mess with the numbers here. And by the way, let me give you a little trick. Most flippers that are good at what they do, they don't list it with an agent that's going to charge them 3%. They usually have a buddy or know someone that will list their properties for 1%. So that, look at the difference. If you're a flipper and you can find an agent to list it for less commission. So it went from 17. If you find someone to list it for 1%, they're going to save money. And if they're experienced, they either have their own license or they know someone that will list it for less. And it's possible that they can pay a buyer's commission of 2.5% instead of 3%. So yeah, there's always room, right? Maybe they get their hard money from someone for 10% and then 1 point, right? Instead of 12. Look, that just added a couple extra $1,000. So, you know, we play with these bigger numbers just to give everyone enough room so you're not making any mistakes. But that's why, like, you know, when I originally had this deal at I think it was worth 250, and I got it at 183, and I was able to sell it to someone for 205. I believe it's going to only take about 15 grand to fix up. I think the guy that we're going to go with has his license, and he probably gets his hard money for cheaper. So I think that's why, even at 10K, some people will do it. Some flippers, they think, yeah, maybe I could stretch it and make a little bit more money. Maybe he sees this at 260, and there you go. That's why he probably justifies being able to pay me pay me 205 for the deal, and I can make some money on it too. So you never know. You just want to be safe, and I felt like 183.5 was a good deal for anyone. And whether I make, you know, the 205 or, you know, that guy bails and I can only sell to someone for 190, there's still room, because I got a 183.5. There's still room for me to make some money. So use this to crunch your numbers and analyze the deals. And let's go back to the steps on how to do this so I can make sure I'm going through the right steps. Sorry guys, right there. So I'm trying to get that. This dang thing's in the way. See if I can move this thing. There you go. Okay, so here it is. So after I plugged in the info in the deal analyzer, determine what spread you wanted to make. I wanted to make, I'd like to make at least 15K on a deal. And this, I was able to make a little bit more. And then you want to make your all cash offer. So I was able to analyze the deal, find out the ARV, put the repair estimate into the calculator to analyze the deal and figure out how much I'm trying to make. And then I got it under contract. So got it for 183.5, found a buyer for 205. I'm going to make, what is that? By the way, like we haven't assigned this one yet, so it's possible that we could make more on it. But let's just say we go with the guy at 205. We'd make 21.5, right? So that's how you analyze deals, guys. I hope that was helpful. Use the calculator, use this, step process. It's very simple. Just got to use PropStream, MLS data, or Zillow to get your, find out the data and find out what the ARV is worth. But it's not a science. It's an art. You gotta, as you go, every area is different. Some areas are going to be harder to comp than others, but this is the key to figuring out how to analyze and comp deals. All right, guys. Good luck.